Welcome everybody to our second town hall of 2025. For anyone who is new, the purpose of these town halls is to update you guys on the company, the site, give you the opportunity to ask questions from us. It's a way that we try to maintain transparency with you guys and build the community and really just have, some direct communication because it's easy to have that kind of lost when your message is on a screen. So I'm Mylan, I'm our CEO, and today I'm joined by our community manager, Luke, and our CMO, Scott. What's up, guys?
What's up? Good to be back for one of these. I've missed the last few, so I was excited and looking forward to this one.
Happy for the February one in the beginning of March, but we're all good.
What even is time? Don't worry about it.
Yeah, exactly. It's just concept.
Sweet. So as you guys can probably guess, we're going to talk a lot about everything that's been happening on Box over the last few months since we last did this. So the agenda is talking about some recent and upcoming product updates, talking about the amazing Shroudathon, and then doing some discussion around some upcoming community events. And we'll, of course, end everything off with a Q&A section. So to dive right in, let's talk about some recent product updates. Well, there's so many to share, honestly. We've been hard at work, and also I think we might have skipped one, or the timing of these is always a little sporadic. So we have a ton to share. To start off, we launched limited time boxes, or what we're calling LTBs, for the first time since we started Boxed. We now have things like 1-of-1 slabs in boxes for Pokemon and Magic. And we actually launched this during the Shroud event. Shroud was the very first person, or at least one of the very first, to open a limited time box with things like slabs in it. And it was a massive success. We're so thankful that, one, it didn't break because it's new tech and new stuff that we built. But this just means that we'll be able to offer more exciting stuff in boxes in the future and make Boxed a lot more unique in the offering, right? I mean, there's only so many singles you can probably get before you start running out of things until a new release. But with things like graded slabs, with things like sealed products and many more, limited time boxes are how we offer all that to you guys. Next up, we have leaderboards. So you guys have probably seen, I think a lot of people actually in the Discord were just talking about it, but leaderboards have arrived. This is a system where you can earn points by opening boxes, participating in battles, doing anything with gems, really. And at the end of a weekly leaderboard cycle, the top ranking users receive gem prizes, with the top prize being $250 worth of gems, or 25,000 gems. And so we're doing this every week. Right now, it's weekly, but we also have some ideas on how to potentially expand it. And the cool thing is, not only the people who spend the most gems get to the top, but also if you're even in the top, I think is it 100 or 500, then you also get a potential chance at winning some prizes at random. So the leaderboards are really meant to reward people who are the most engaged, who are giving back to the site, whether that be through earning a bunch of gems through the forge and then spending those, or whether that be spending money. Whatever it is, it rewards the people who are the most engaged. So we launched that. It's so far going really well, and we're already talking about how we can potentially give out more gems, potentially expand to different time frames and whatnot. But leaderboard so far, really, really awesome. Next, we have some battle improvements. In shared and team battles, we've updated the way prizes are distributed. So if you guys haven't done a battle, at the end of a battle, if you have won alongside a team member or in a shared battle, then you guys divvy up the prizes. And sometimes the prizes don't add up to even amounts. And so you'll end up, one person will get a voucher and the other person will get a card. And so we essentially split the gem value up exactly even if some of the items don't exactly add up to that, by replacing them with vouchers. And so now the vouchers, if we do have to hand out vouchers, are automatically going to bots instead of real people, so that you guys keep more actual cards that you can withdraw, and you don't have to be the one that splits a card if that has to happen. We also have made some new battle animation improvements, which include a new countdown timer when you start a battle, and also we have an animation for how we tie break. So if you guys do a battle and you end up tying the exact gem amount with the other person, there's an animation showing the tie break being settled. Next up, we have site chat improvements. We've updated how the site chat works. You can now see through badges who are members of the Box team, moderators, as well as people who work for the company directly. But we also hope to expand the badges to relate to other aspects of the site, which are coming soon. You can also now report users on the site chat. So if someone's being a bit of a jerk, then you have a way to raise that with us. We check the report logs all the time. And so now we can actually have some sort of retroactive ways to deal with some bad actors when we don't always have somebody online. Next, we have the TCG opener. This is a special one for me because I actually did some of the coding for it, and then our awesome dev team cleaned up my bad code and pushed it out to the public. But the TCG opener is a new way to open boxes where we have a TCG style animation. You can think of this as like Hearthstone or Magic Arena Online or things like that, where we tried to make it feel a lot more like a TCG video game. We initially made the original opener, which is just like a spinning wheel, modeled after the Counter-Strike loot box opener. And the main thing about it was it fits any product, right? Like you don't have to worry about the size of the image being the right match or things like that. But we made the TCG opener specifically for opening trading cards. So if you guys want to try it out and you haven't seen it yet, on any box page, you go to the settings button, which is the little gear, and then you turn on TCG opener, and then it'll feel a lot more like a trading card video game. We also updated gem drops. So now in every gem drop, 5 lucky users will get 50 gems instead of the standard amount. And so this is something where now every gem drop that you join, even though there's more people on the site, you still have a chance to win a bigger reward at random. Next up is a fan favorite, it seems, which is the Forge search. So this is where now, if you are looking for specific people's boxes in the Forge, you can search using an @ sign before their username, and then you will find their profile and all of their boxes that they've created. If you want to support specific people in the Forge, or look for boxes that people are telling you about, then you can more easily do that. Lastly, on this section, we have the reviews page. So this is a page that shows mainly people's photos that they've shared in the winnings channel of this Discord, as well as some social media posts in other places. And it just shows what people are saying, them getting their mail days. And it's a way that we can tell new people who might not know how Box works that they actually receive packages. They get to see the quality and the way they're packed, and see what other people have shared. So one, thank you everyone who takes the time to share their big opens and their mail days. Please keep that coming. And two, if anyone's ever asking you about Box, now you have a direct page that you can send them that shows them all, I think it's like 150 or something, pictures and posts of people getting their cards. All right, I'm going to pause there for a moment because I just said a lot of stuff.
I feel like I've seen multiple people comment on the Forge search.
Yeah, that was a huge dub. I love
4
those quality
fire
of life features.
emojis.
Oh, it was about editing boxes. So we don't plan to allow people to edit Forge boxes, and we actually also don't edit our own boxes that we create. And the reason for that is primarily because when people see a box and they open it, they make a mental note. They have an expectation of the odds of that box and what's inside of it. And so if we edited boxes or if we allowed people to edit boxes, then it could be confusing and lead people to be upset about the experience because I don't expect everyone to go scan the drop table to see what's changed every time they open a box, right? And so we'd rather have it where if we want to make edits or make some variations, we make a new box because we don't want people to get confused or have a negative experience around that. So now we can talk about some upcoming product updates. And we have a couple things on this list, but as always, there's many, many more things in the works behind the scenes that we just aren't quite ready to talk about. So the first major thing that is upcoming in the very near future is referral codes. They will now display who has used your code, but you can turn this off in your settings if you wish to be anonymous. So if you want to be anonymous on people's referral code sort of logs, you have the option to do that in your settings. But for people who do things like code sharing, for people who want to see who's supporting them, this is now going to be a feature. Next up, we have gem mission tiers, which I believe might actually already be live. Do we have confirmation of that? Yep, it is live. So this is actually not upcoming. This is out right now. But we've heard your feedback around gem missions. And the biggest issue with gem missions that we've observed is that there's sometimes things like a VPN or something to do with your specific phone or whatever it might be that cause a gem mission to not track. And the very worst possible thing that can happen to someone is they do all the things required of a gem mission and then don't get their gems. But the important thing is that it needs to be tracked because the money comes from somewhere. It comes from the people who like make the app, for example, and they pay for someone to sign up. And so if they can't track it, then they aren't willing to pay the money, and then it's sort of lost in the void. And so the update to gem missions that we recently made allows you to see the steps of a mission. Not all missions have this, but this is something that you can now filter for, which are called multi-step missions. And with multi-step missions, you can see every specific action and what you get paid in gems for it. And so if you download the app and in a few minutes don't see that it registered you downloaded it, then you don't have to keep going and just hope that it registers later. You can actually see the individual parts of the mission that you have to do and if it's tracking. Now, the other good thing about this is for some of those missions that are really long and tedious, if you only do, let's say, half the steps, you still get paid for half of what you did rather than getting paid nothing because you didn't complete the entire mission. And so this means that you can earn more gems. You can choose to bow out of a mission if it's getting too, tedious, and you also can make sure that you're tracking in the system and actually getting paid. That's the end of our upcoming product updates for now. But again, plenty of things in the works. Now we have another Q&A break.
Someone's asked about tier levels, and essentially, will roles be given as like for public profiles for based on how the affiliate system's done? Will that also kind of be given to people on the kind of site chat, so people can see like what people's tiers are, just like we have like our names on site?
So in the future, we will have a variety of things like badges or achievements or things of that nature, as well as different sort of profile customizations, as well as actual profiles. So these are things that are going to be happening. And when that happens, there will be all sorts of different ways to showcase, your different stats on the site, whether that be opening a Moonbryon or having different tiers of affiliate ranks, etc.
How about Forgeful Lorcana? Any ideas on this, and maybe a timetable?
Yeah, so whenever we add a new category, especially in these newer TCGs like One Piece and Lorcana, we want to make super sure that there is no chance that we let you open an item that we actually can't get you. And so with the case of Lorcana, we're still sort of measuring the supply and the demand, and it's an ongoing thing. We will see some categories come out of the beta stage or get more features soon, like the Forge. But I think Lorcana is still one that we're closely watching.
Maybe One
Nice.
Piece. Who
Mm.
knows?
We'll have some more about that in about probably 15-20 minutes. But question, it's a bit more of like a security question. This is nice. Anything happen to people who use auto clickers or have bots? I'm thinking this would really help the drop.
Yeah, so we already do a lot to prevent automation on gem drops. We routinely ban people's ability to use it or remove them from the site, but it is something that's ongoing. I will say that the amount of people is actually pretty small. You'd be surprised how many real people just show up every 30 minutes. Like you see the number in chat go up and there's a lot of people, but you'd be surprised how many of them are just real people with timers set on their phones or on their computer. It surprised me. It was astonishing. So just know that this is something that we actively are addressing and have been addressing for months. But if you have any sort of insight on people doing that, then feel free to report it to us.
I'll kind of reword this. Will we be looking to bring in obviously like self-exclusion settings for accounts?
Yeah, definitely. It's something that we are working on. Right now, if you want to reach out to support, we can remove access to an account for any amount of time that you request. But we're working on the sort of automated features to allow for that as well. So if you guys want to take a break from Boxed, focus back on physical collecting or other things, then we will have tools for you to do that automatically in the future. The last one will be, are you changing daily rewards? Maybe implement a level system. Daily rewards is something that, I think it's probably the most recurring topic that we've talked about. Yes, we are working on improvements to daily rewards, making it more exciting, more engaging, giving you progression, stuff like that. We're building a pretty, I would say, complex system. It's going to be, I think, really cool, but it's a lot of work. So it is going to take time, but we are working on that. It is something that we are aware of. All right. If you guys have any specific requests for features or different changes to the site, if we can't get to all of them here, please check out the suggestions channel in our Discord. You can make a post here, and we look at these as a team very frequently. Let's move on to the next section. And I lost the doc. Here we are. Shroud Fragathon recap. Go ahead, Scott.
All right, the Fragathon. So this is a huge undertaking, I think, for all of us at the company. It was really exciting for me and for the marketing team and really our entire company to work on it. It's more or less over now. Like his Fragathon stream, happened about a month ago, and the Fragathon itself continued to go through like half of February. And I just say in summary that like partnering with Shroud, we consider it to be a massive success, not just for the business and for our company, but I also think for this community. And really, first and foremost, like for our team, it was just this galvanizing moment for our internal team. Like it brought everybody together from every corner of the company. Really, everybody pitched in their own way to try to make that thing happen. It was massive, a lot of work behind the scenes. To do something that large for a company our small for the very first time. So I'm really, really proud of everybody, and I'm very thankful to all of the crew from Box that's on the call and listens to these. Thanks again for all your love and support and passion poured into that. And thanks to the community for everybody listening here, and we'll listen to the recording of this. This was not possible without you guys, and I'll speak on that more in a second. But just the positivity and enthusiasm and welcoming nature of the community, especially the diehard core community that's been here for a while or from the beginning, to welcome in so many new people from different walks of life and different places in the world, was really fun to see that and to see it be so, just open-hearted and amicable. So thanks for that. I'd say more important than any of that, though, is that we all came together to help Shroud and all his friends raise over $1 million for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. It's cancer research for children. It's really important cause that I know a lot of people care a lot about. And again, like he has said time and again, and he said it to me when I was at his house, but he said it publicly on stream as well, is that, his Fragathon would not have been possible without our support. Like, and it's not just lip service. Like he just means quite literally, the amount that we spent with him to help try to pull this off to the production value that it was, it covered all of his production costs. It covered his staff costs so that he could pay his staff. It covered material costs, and it helped make a big, stunt like opening $100,000 worth of cards, some of which, none of us would ever have had enough money in our own lives to spend on, a pack that is probably not going to return its value, but is really fun and nostalgic. That's the kind of stuff that we were able to help make possible, all in the name of raising money for charity, which it did do. Because all the cards that he won, both on the site and physically that he opened from the physical packs, were all auctioned off for about $160,000 in value, and that all went straight to the cancer research in St. Jude. So, really literally when I say like we couldn't have done this without you, I mean it. I mean that like without your support and your business on our site, like we wouldn't be in a place where we could give back this soon in our company's life. So really, you guys are a fantastic community. We thank you so much for being here and being behind us. Thank you. And like we talked about, this is, just the beginning. Like you guys have empowered our company over the last year or so to grow like exponentially, and we're going to continue to grow. And as we do, we promise to continue trying to pay that forward in the best ways that we can. So thank you. What's next? So there's a few things like in terms of what's next for us. I think one is, we really want to explore other opportunities for working with Shroud. I mean, it was a fantastic send off. Like when I left that night, it was like 2:30 in the morning Pacific time, and they went 12 hours that stream. It was crazy, and it was just all feel good vibes. And I think we have every intention, and he seemed to have every intention to want to try to make something happen again in the future. So we're going to continue to keep those conversations going with him. But also what it did is it sort of opened the door for future new conversations with St. Jude. And ways in which our company and our community continue to support their cause in an ongoing way. I think it's something that resonated with our hearts in the staff here at Boxed. And so, we really like their mission, and I think that the community likes, their mission to some degree. And the thought of us continuing to come together as a community of collectors and nerds to do good in the world is something that gets me out of bed and gets me excited to come to work every day. So yeah, maybe more on that in the future. I think beyond that, though, from just speaking purely from like a marketing and I guess a little bit of a product perspective, but marketing and community perspective, I think this experience demonstrated to us the power of like when we can put together our effort on our side of the fence here at the company to build a big moment that the community is going to rally around it. Like that was a little bit of a worry for us is to do this much work and go all in on something and not be sure like, oh, is our community going to care? Is people going to show up? But it was quite the opposite, right? Like everybody showed up and it was such positive. Um, so our team's going to put our heads together and just, think about more ways that we can do this throughout the rest of this year. And we're already working on what we think that next moment could be. And I'm really excited to talk a lot more about that in the future when we're ready to talk about that. So yeah, in summary, I just couldn't say, more nice things about everybody in the community and also our team for rallying and putting this together, and for Mike, for Shroud himself. Like you have supported us and taken us on as a partner means a lot to us. So thanks to everybody. In the meantime, like, between now and when we have something else new and exciting for a big event to talk about, we do have a bunch of other smaller like community events that we're working on. And Luke is in the team has been working on a bunch of that along with Dan and the rest of the product team. So Luke, do you want to take the mic and maybe talk through some of the community events we have coming up?
Wow, I actually have a lot to say this week. This is quite nice. So yeah, firstly, I just want to start with Pokemon Day. Big thank you from everyone. It was really, really cool. The love and support you guys showed. It was the first time outside of a big creator event, being the Shroud-a-thon, that we had limited time boxes. We released 2 incredibly hyped ones, with the 2 being the treasure chests. Obviously, I saw so many of you guys have some awesome moments with them, so congratulations, and also thank you to the creators who we work with who helped drive the hype towards that. Not only did we do that recently for Pokemon, we also gave away 5 Prismatic Evolutions Epic Training boxes. I didn't realise that you guys cared that much about it, wink wink, but yeah, it was our most engaged with giveaway to date. And something tells me you guys would like more of this. I don't know. Like, please tell me if you do. But yeah, we're definitely gonna be doing more of those. You guys really show. As long as you guys just keep showing the love for these kind of events, we'll keep giving you guys a ton of stuff. Questions? Have we got any? I know that's quite a lot for you guys to consume that. But has anyone got any questions on that? Will we have sealed products like packs in boxes in the future?
Yes.
I know you like that one, Mylan.
Yep, it's a long time coming. Limited edition boxes are some of the tech that allows us to do this, because some of you guys might have noticed that not every item in a limited edition box is one of one. Sometimes we'll put like a rare card that we know is hard to find, but we can get like 5 or 10 of. And so we are soon going to be getting a lot of sealed products, and those will be in boxes in limited quantities. And so keep a lookout. Finally, I will say. I know it's been something that we've been wanting to do for a while. As far as us straight up selling things like slabs, packs, singles, boosters, it's a light maybe. The big thing is we don't really plan to be a retailer, right? Like, one, we don't like, it's hard to get some of this stuff, and we try not to be your local scalper, like punching people out in Costco. And so it's one, hard for us to access. We're working with partners to try to do it the right way. And then 2, we don't want someone to just like buy up all of the sealed products that we have. We want it to be available for everyone to enjoy. And so, in some cases, like with the Vibes TCG that you guys might have seen, where we helped launch their first edition booster boxes, you can directly purchase, but probably in most cases, we'll be putting these items in boxes or on Marketplace, where you can potentially trade the items you've opened for them, but probably not directly selling them.
Will there be any type of daily, weekly, or monthly challenges that could happen in the future?
Yeah, definitely. Challenges and like sort of missions. I mean, gem missions aside, things to do in exchange for gems or rewards is something that we are always thinking about and looking at. So, again, this is the type of thing that it's in our heads. It's not on paper or in code yet, but you can expect things like this at some point in the future. Hell yeah, 2 hours of sleep. I've been on that before. Although, get some sleep, OJ. No, someone says no worries if it's a trade secret. Was just genuinely wondering how you guys seem to ensure high quality products that are won a couple decent Pokemon cards and they're all in excellent condition. Seems difficult with high chase and out of print, etc. things. Yeah, it is not a trade secret. It is literally, I mean, a combination of a lot
Quality control.
of process improvements and brute forcing. Like we have a team of people that buys items, just like that is their job. They go out on all the online marketplaces. Now we're sending them out to a lot of things like Collecticon, and we just are constantly buying an insane amount of trading cards. We have a warehouse with like 30 to 50,000 cards at any given time. That number might be higher now because we've grown a lot, but that's like the last figure I can remember. So no trade secret. It's just really hard, high scale stuff. Like if for anyone who was around like a year ago, we were working with a third party that kind of dropped the ball on us. Or not kind of. They essentially said they had items they didn't, and then we were left having to fulfill a bunch of cards that we didn't have. And from that point, we said we have to do this ourselves and build our own operation from the ground up to be able to support the amount of trading cards we want to send people. And so now we have a warehouse with a lot of cards. We have all sorts of automation we're working on. But really it's just like, we just had to brute force it. It's been, over a year of problem solving, trying to figure out how to operate as like one of, if not the largest singles card fulfillers in the world, right? Like TCG Player Direct might be, or it probably is bigger, but like I can't find anybody else who's second to that isn't us.
100,000 cards we counted, a little over 100,000 cards that we sent out last year alone, and that was like in year one when we were growing. Now it's going to be significantly more than that this year. And every one of those cards gets hand inspected by a human being when it comes in to make sure it's at least near mint or better. And the ones that don't make the cut and don't get sent out.
I just want to quickly share some love, by the way, on the content creators. If any of you guys are wondering how can you watch these amazing people, on the right hand side of Discord, their names are in red. Whenever they're live, they'll post about it in the channels and stuff. So like we got Meathead in a minute. We're here at the moment, who's the king of magic for us. We got Seth as well, who's some great content. But yeah, everyone and anyone you want to see part of the crew that's in that, check out the right hand side because they do some pretty awesome content.
Will there be any type of graded cards be out on boxed in boxes, aka PSA, BGA? So if you're asking about graded cards being inside of the boxes, it's something we've been testing. We've done a few limited boxes, and we're doing a lot more of it. We're going to be getting a lot more graded cards, sealed products, high-end things for you guys to open, especially for some of you guys who have gotten a lot of the chases. There's some people, if you look at the leaderboard, some people are really big collectors and they probably already have a Moonbreon and, Flying Charizard from 151, etc. And so we want to give everyone some bigger, more exciting things to chase after. And some smaller things that are just more unique, right? Like, I didn't even realize, and I feel dumb for saying this, but I discovered Kanto cards recently. Like, I just hadn't seen them before, and I feel like I should have, but now I feel dumb for not having seen that. And I'm like, I gotta get some of those. And they aren't like super rare, but they're just cool,
Need to get some of the movie cards and the TV series cards from Topps.
One last one I'll say is someone asked about sending in cards for gems. This is something that we have recently talked about. Again, not anytime soon, but these are ideas that we really like, that we like to see you guys say out loud, because that shows that we're thinking in the right way. And we absolutely want to enable stuff like that. So it's a little bit of a thing to figure out, but we like the idea. All right, guys, we're going to call it here. We got to get back to work. But please post anything you guys are thinking, whether we talked about it or not, in the suggestions channel. I'm going to post it again in the chat here. We look at this very often. All of our team checks this frequently because we love hearing your guys's... we love hearing your ideas and thoughts. You guys probably a lot of times know better than us on what kind of things are really important to you. So we'd love to hear from you in the suggestions channel. Thanks so much, everybody. I'm going to call it here. Goodbye. Have a great rest of your month. We'll see you next month.
Thanks, everyone. See you later.
Cheers, guys.